Ice water turn Atlantic. Night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic. Took an island, left the mansion.
What it do, family? It's your girl Tamika, and I am back with another video. Y'all knew I was gonna do it. Y'all know I was coming back with another video. Listen, if it's your first time here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on so we can stay connected. Shout out to S&T. I love you guys forever, ever. And you know this. Listen, man. Today I'm about to be reacting to T.O. and P.O.'s channel. I'm not going to be reacting to the whole video, but I am going to be reacting on some points that I really want to talk about because I'm so happy that it finally scraped the surface. You know what I mean? There's a lot of misconceptions about Lee, aka Spicy Management. You know what I mean? There's a lot of headlines saying, oh yeah, you know what I mean? She don't have Queen's best interest. I don't understand why managers on YouTube, yada, 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 and the list goes on and on and on. So I want to look at some of the things that she said on her video, and I want to talk about it. So without further ado, man, we about to slide right into this video, man. I want to give you guys a little bit of a synopsis of what's going on, okay? You know what I'm saying? If you can recall, this whole feud between Queen and her family started by a lot of unnecessary stuff going into the internet. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that probably should have been kept in-house. I'm just going to put it that way. You know what I mean? So if you can recall, you know what I mean, there was a documentary that came out a little while back. Not the ones that's out right now, that's on MTV and on YouTube. And by the way, y'all go stream that. Let's run them numbers up. You know what I mean? Not those. It was one that was prior to that, where basically detailed how Queen made her transition from YouTube into the music industry. If you can recall, and if you don't recall, I'm going to actually play a clip from it. Tina, which is Queen's sister, actually took to her IG story, and she was very, very upset. And this is what she had to say. Let's take a look.
Shit, telling me to apologize. I ain't apologizing for shit. The family parts were taken out. You need to apologize. No, bitch, I'm not apologizing for shit. I was damn near in that whole documentary, and they only got me twirling.
My nigga. Every time I see that twirling part, it has me weak, bro. Like, I don't care what nobody say, bro. That girl, when she said that twirling part, that junk took me out, bro. Like, I'm talking about double dead. But listen, man. So basically, she came to the internet and she basically was pissed off because she felt like Lee had removed her from the documentary. And as you can see, she said the only thing that was on the documentary was her twirling. You know what I'm saying? So she was pissed off about that twirl. You know what I mean? But long story short, I'm clowning, but it has me weak. Drop it in the comments if that part had y'all weak. Regardless of what was going on, you know I'm silly. Did it have y'all weak? It had me so weak, y'all. Look, because of that, it was a lot of things that was going on, a lot of backlash, a lot of hate pages, a lot of T pages. They went ahead and they went on a video frenzy, just basically talking about how Lee and Clarence and everybody who was in Clarence's family was using Queen. All right. So last night, T.O. and P.O., they dropped a video on their channel that was very, very good. Y'all go watch that. You know what I'm saying? And it was basically talking about misconceptions. Now, in this video, it was the first time that Lee had an opportunity to touch on some of the situations that surrounded the documentary. Now, she was completely honest, and she said, you know what I mean, the things that were said to Tina was correct, but it was also said by an outside source, a third party who basically was just trying to keep up a lot of stuff within the family. Now, this is one thing that really irks me about success sometimes. We all want it. You know what I mean? We all want to be able to have the stresses or be stress-free from not paying bills and just being able to go wherever we want to at our own leisure. But with that being said, sometimes those things do come with a consequence. And this is one of them. There's a lot of people who prey on people who's on a rise to success, being that if they come out with a negative connotation or a negative video, sometimes that does a lot more, it has a lot more success than actual positivity. We all live in the same world. We know exactly what I'm talking about. However, Lee explained in depth what went on. I'm going to play a clip from that. I want y'all to take a look at it.
One misconception about me is kind of old, but they said that I didn't want like Queen's family in the documentary. Remember the doc we did?
Yeah.
And I think documentary is probably like the wrong terminology to use, but what happened is that
like
we got
show, but I don't even it wasn't
yeah,
that,
I
it wasn't
don't think
that
it's a
deep.
doc.
Before we get into this video, man, you get plenty of cheeks because of the dimples, don't you? I'm convinced. I know for a fact, man. You got some dope ass dimples. You get plenty of cheeks because of your dimples, don't you? Man, we need to be friends. Man, y'all go spam Spicy Management, man, and tell her. I need to know. Lee, do you get cheeks because of the dimples? I know you do, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't even that deep.
Look up the definition of documentary. So basically what it was is that when we initially signed the Capitol, they set up some meetings with DSPs, so Apple and Spotify and also YouTube. And so one of the ideas that I had for YouTube was for us to just take this, because for Royalty Squad, they've been following Queen, right, forever, so they know the storyline. But what happens to the occasional listener that stumbles across Queen, maybe hears her on the radio and just wonder like, oh, she just got on the music scene. So I wanted one piece of content that just showed how she got from YouTube to the music industry and like just captured that in like one video so that they know that she didn't just get here by luck or whatever the case is.
I want to interject right here. I see like a lot of comments and a lot of hate in T-pages say certain things like, Queen needs another manager. Lee is all on YouTube. A manager shouldn't be on YouTube. Lee is Queen's manager and her accountant. The list goes on and on and on. And then I also heard and seen numerous amounts of time, I don't know why she always referring to them as we. It ain't no we, it's Queen. Queen didn't need her. Queen was going to be successful regardless. Now, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Queen is an undeniable talent. And in my heart, I truly believe that she was going to catapult to orbit, regardless of the fact, because it's her destiny. It's her destiny. You know what I mean? It's her God-given purpose. God put that on her. She was going to do it regardless of the fact. But it pisses me off when people basically say that to discredit Lee, aka Spicy Management. Now let's take a look at some things. Queen is awesome. She was a talent. But she was also a talent who was going into an industry that she knew absolutely nothing about. And when you come in there blind like that, you can basically get eaten alive. Anybody who's an artist who was in the music industry will tell you this. You know what I mean? It's not pretty when you don't really know everything that goes on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Now, before Queen can even get started, she came into a situation where somebody was already capitalizing off her single medicine. She was not making no money off iTunes from it because somebody else was doing it. Now, before Lee even became her manager, Queen went to Lee and said, listen, there's a situation happening. Can you help me? Lee obliged. It was nothing. It was no ties to it. She just went out there and helped Queen, probably off the humbug that her brother cares about her as well. So basically, she did it, okay? Let's fast forward on along a little bit more, all right? Queen went to her again. Lee, can you manage me? Can you please manage me? Lee said no. Numerous amounts of time until finally she concaved and gave in, all right? Now, when you guys say that Lee is not doing her job, I'm a little bit confused by that. Because Queen had a whole tour, all right? There was never one complaint on the tour. Not one, okay? In a year's time, I watched Queen elevate from not having no house to having a basement to having a damn penthouse to now having a damn near a loft mansion, okay? You know what I'm saying? I've seen this girl catapult, all right? And not only does she has her best interest as an artist, she's always behind the scenes trying to help Queen get her credit better. You know what I mean? Teaching Queen what credit means and what credit details and things like that. And that's what pisses me off with people. Like, how can you say that this woman is not a good manager? What has she done wrong? I need y'all to drop that in the comments for me. All I need you to do is answer. Let's proceed.
Now that took a long time to film and edit and all of that, and it came out pretty late from the time that I first thought of the idea. But in no way, shape, or form did I not want her family in it. We couldn't do this mini doc without her family in it, just like we couldn't do the mini doc without us in it, because
I wasn't even in it.
We were a part of her music career starting.
What? Shame on y'all, man. Shame on all y'all. Shame on anybody who do not think for any reason that Lee and Clarence does not deserve to be in a chapter, especially this chapter of Queen's life. You know what I'm saying? In her transition from YouTube, you know what I'm saying, to the music industry, these folks have every right to be part of that documentary, even though it wasn't even really a documentary. You know what I mean? Like, I do understand what she means when she's trying to understand what that really was, because it really wasn't a documentary. In a documentary, it probably would have been a little bit more lines, or it probably would have been a little bit more room for more parts of the intermediate family. You know what I'm saying? But this basically was just trying to highlight her transition. So yes, I'm sorry for anybody who do not feel as if this woman has a right to be a part of it. I totally disagree with anybody who feel differently. This woman has every right to be part of this. She is part of this. She is part of Queen Elevation. And you do not have to like Lee or Clarence to respect that. And that's just all I'm going to say on that.
And so what I learned after I talked to Queen's mom was that the actual camera people and the producers were very unprofessional. They were let go and hopefully never working on anything again in this industry, honestly. They were very unprofessional. They called her mom and said a whole bunch of things that I said, which I didn't. She said that I wanted her removed or her family removed from the documentary. So they didn't make that up. The producers actually called them and told them that.
This was a key detail for me. First of all, I mean, you can't help but respect Lee's integrity. I mean, she's basically saying that there were certain things that Queen's family were told, you know? And with that being said, I mean, we don't know exactly what was being told. You know what I mean? We pretty much can just speculate. I mean, we can use our own brain, our own common sense. You can understand why Tina probably would have been upset. You'll probably even understand why Miss Reva would have been upset, especially if these people were telling them certain things. However, the thing that I still have a dilemma with, you know what I mean, is that I do not respect still the family taking all of this stuff to the internet. I feel like Tina did not have to go to the internet. I feel like this conversation that they should have had would have alleviated all of the bullshit that Queen got in the long run. Because at the end of the day, she was the only one that really got hurt in this. I mean, don't get it twisted. Claire did too. Because there was a lot of things being said to him that I really felt like he did not deserve. But one conversation would have been able to tell like who was living foul. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really had a problem with when it came down to Queen's family. You know, I would never be able to respect that because I think that these type of things need to be handled in-house completely. Nobody else should have known anything about this stuff. And all it did was basically give people topics and more negativity to run with. I would never respect that, but let's keep going on with the video.
And until we sat down and talked, like none of us knew what the other side of the story was. What I said was that you can't have this documentary without at least mentioning like us, because her music career started when we met. And they had the hope, because they were so unprofessional and they wanted to do things that I didn't allow them to do, to invade Queen's privacy.
Facts. Like, how could you mention Queen elevating musically and not mention Lee? I truly don't get that. I mean, like, how? How can you do that? You can't. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get it twisted, you guys. And see, this is what I'm saying, man. You can hate somebody or you can not like somebody, but you can still be honest about the situation. You can still do that. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You do not have to like Clarence or Lee to be able to say, you know what, look, hands down, it doesn't matter if I don't like them, if I think this way about this person or think this way about that person. I cannot deny the fact that this woman has elevated in a year's time. This woman has had nominations. You know what I'm saying? She's been all over the radio. This woman has done her job. You cannot mention Queen's elevation when it comes down to music without mentioning spicy management. Period. And that's just all I'm going to say about that. If you guys want to argue in the comments, let's do it.
What they had done is they sent over the final edit when they edited it, and it had only her family in it. Like, and I was like, what? How do you completely, this is like so unprofessional for you to do that, for you to actually display like your vengeance in your work. Like, so what happened was, instead of killing the whole project, YouTube actually came in and was like, we're gonna salvage the footage and we're gonna put it together.
The camera crews, the producers, whoever it was, that was completely unprofessional. To be completely honest, man, it was really some whole shit. Like, you guys could have basically broke up a whole family. You know what I mean? Like, dead serious, a whole family was hurt from this. You know what I mean? You got sisters that ain't talking. You know what I mean? Because these people wanted to pay both sides of the field. And for what? For some views, for some more exposure? Like, that junk is crazy as hell to me. Shame on y'all, camera crew. Shame on y'all producers, whoever y'all was, man. Shame on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now it makes complete sense on why the tensions were so high. Like, Miss Reva came into the hospital, you know what I'm saying? They see her grandson, but people are still mad because they were told certain things and they were told certain things, and it's just messed up. When all of this could have been prevented if it was just a conversation outside of the internet. You know what I mean? And I got my nephew, he's been seen, my beautiful nephew, he's been seen. And, you know, and people should be around that. Family should be family, man. This situation right here was corny as hell. Like, I mean, from what I seen, my personal opinion, I know when Queen went to go buy her mama the house and the car and everything like that, which her mother deserved. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna touch on that or whatever. But I mean, Lee and Clarence was like the biggest people in Queen's corner, calling her a boss for being able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just really don't see like what Lee would have got out of removing her family from the documentary. What would she had to gain? Now, I do understand her feeling some type of way for her not being included. She done worked her ass off. She should have been in the documentary. But let's keep going, people.
And so when they sent it in, they had a piece of like Tina and Terrell talking about being bullied and stuff like that. And Queen was like, take that out. Like, I didn't even say that. Like, but any decision that needs to be made, it always gets across Queen. Like, the details and stuff like that, I might not like share, like, yeah, she called me today and said she's about to send it. Like, but when she sends it, I sit down with Queen. I sat down with her in the back of the tour bus and I was like, here's the edit. What do you think? What are your like notes for changes? And then I told her what I would like to change, and then I put it together and I send it to them. But this documentary, right, if you will, was completely approved by Queen and I at the same time.
This right here definitely puts a lot of things into perspective. Now I can really understand why Tina was so mad. However, you know what I mean? Listen, you guys, this documentary was about Queen's transition from YouTube to the music industry. Now, I can totally understand that Tina might have got her feelings hurt because they might have been speaking on a topic that might have meant a lot to them. And Lord knows, you know what I'm saying, bullying is real, especially on this internet. It seemed like soon as they gave somebody a keyboard and they had to be in somebody's face, it just made all of these people with superpowers come out the woodworks. I understand that. But people got to also understand this, all right? This is Queen's journey. And I've said this ever since I started doing YouTube, and I do these reaction videos when it comes down to the royal family. People got to understand that this is Queen's journey. Queen, you know what I'm saying? And yes, her journey is going to include her having moments with people, whether it's for a season, a moment, or a lifetime. It's her journey. Whatever she wants to be able to detail in her journey, it's hers to detail, people. Like Tina, I get it, you know what I mean, or whatever. You probably felt slated, you know what I mean? You got to share your sister with somebody else. I understand that it probably might get up under your skin when she calls Lee her sister. I get that, you know what I'm saying? I'm very protective over my sister. I'm a jealous sister. I want people to love me and love me only. I get that, you know what I'm saying? But that's not being realistic at the same time. You cannot get upset because there was a segment in there that was taken out about bullying that pertains to you and Terrell. This was not y'all's story. And see, this is what I don't understand, man. Your sister gave you guys this huge ass platform, 100K subs. Do you know what I would do for 100K subs? Tell your story. This is where your journey begins. You know what I'm saying? You can rewrite your journey any way that you see fit. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody going to be able to tell it like you will. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing that I just don't understand with the whole situation. I still don't feel like everything that went down had enough merit for you to go to the internet, man, and shit on your sister. Period. Look, you guys, you can feel however you want to feel, okay? We cannot be talking about what Lee is doing with Queen money because y'all don't know that. Don't nobody got no proof of that shit? Stop it. Stop looking for some negative stuff to say. Lee been had cake. You know what I'm saying? Lee had cake before Queen, bro. Don't get that junk twisted, man. Do your research. This woman had cake before Queen. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't got to use Queen. What is she going to get out of that? What is she going to get out of using her own nephew's mama? Do y'all hear how y'all be sounding when y'all say it out loud, bro? That junk is crazy. Look, man, Lee is a good manager to Queen. I don't have to know Lee personally or anything like that to know that. You know how I know that? Because I'm looking at Queen all over the damn radio. I'm looking at her on the billboards. I'm looking at this woman elevating without no issues whatsoever. That's how I know that she's a good manager. And since somebody could show me something different, man, that's all I'm going to say about that. So listen, y'all, give this video a thumbs up, please. Like it, share it, subscribe. Do all of that good stuff. Share me with your family. You guys, I'm trying to go up. I want to hit 20K. I want to hit 20K, y'all. I want to hit it so bad I can taste it. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, listen. Thank you guys for all of the support. I appreciate every time you guys tune in. I thank you guys so much for tuning in into the vlogs. We're starting to vlog a little bit more. We're trying to get used to that. We want you guys to start learning us. Start knowing us. Start chopping it up with us. You know what I mean? That's where we're trying to go with it. Yo, and also, please, hit my IG, man. Get y'all some S&T Squad merch, man. Y'all need to get y'all some merch. Support your girls, you know what I mean? And with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all now. Oh, yeah, and quit capping on my homeboy Patty, a.k.a. Mod the Guy. He get plenty of cheeks with your thick ass.
Each other, now that all the dogs free, and we out in these streets.